What a peasant. Oh, there you are. Happy to see you again for some beginner tips in 2025 for The Witcher 3 after 500 hours and 10 years. And it might be that you're now preparing for the new DLC that might appear next year, or you just started to watch the Netflix show Season 4. Well, let's start with the tip. Stay tuned for... What's up guys, I'm Franky Boy on this channel covering everything regarding The Witcher 3. And I started this channel based on The Witcher 3, which is my most favorite game of all times, and I prepared 17 tips for you guys to keep in mind to get the best out of your playthrough, so you will hopefully be that awesome Geralt of Rivia that I have right here, level 101. Mistake number one I see people regularly make is ignoring the bestiary. Totally keep in mind that these tips are super incredible for you to always see what you're gonna use. Use the correct potion, the correct bombs, the correct oil, as well as signs. Sometimes there are multiple sign options, even if it's not shown here, like Quen is always good, of course. But in general, use the bestiary, because otherwise you might end up like that Geralt from tip number 2 that is using the wrong tools. And using the wrong tools can always lead to some critical disadvantages in fight. Using Axi versus a ghost or Irden versus humans might not always fit. But there's help for you guys. If you want something to always fit, go to Escape, Options, Gameplay, automatically apply blade oils. Totally turn this on if you hate going into your inventory before every fight, going into your inventory, double checking mid fight if you have the correct potion on it, oil on it, double checking it all the time and applying it. That was like the most annoying thing ever. And back then it was only available for PC, while with the next gen update CDPR made it available for everybody. Even on the console, you can now turn it on in the options. Totally do so. Now you might be out exploring, seeing a lot of people, seeing a lot of animals as well, like this. So many horses down here in White Orchard, that's amazing. But you might also be farming cows or killing cows, maybe plenty of them. And there actually is a farm spot right here at Martin Feu's farmstead, which is just in Novigrad or next to Novigrad. You can go there after you exited White Orchard, so the tutorial, and farm there for leather and meat and sell it. But there's a disadvantage coming with this. So if you then decide to go back to White Orchard and maybe decide, oh yeah, let's go here to the Warzone Bridge. Sounds like a decent idea, right? Well, what happens here is incredible. Nothing, because I killed the chord already. Can I respawn it with meditation? Yeah, whatever. You go back to White Orchard and the chord is waiting for you and might crush you into that ground if you're not like a high experienced and of course well prepared Geralt of Rivia. That is the cow boss, and yeah, the cow level exists in The Witcher. So keep that in mind when you kill cows. The chord might spawn in White Orchard, and once you hit that threshold of too many cows, it's gonna always spawn there and always chase you and also chase away the traders, etc. So you always have to keep that in mind. For some part at least. And doesn't that look beautiful? I love how awesome this game looks on 4K 60 ray tracing on after 10 years. This is just amazing. Wow, that was a lightning strike, or yeah, incredible weather effects. Didn't expect that under these conditions right here. That's awesome. Yeah, I like it. Mistake number 5 is of course not using Gourmet. The French people would say le gourmet. I don't know how the Americans would spell it, gourmet or gourmet. In Germany we spell it gourmet as well, like the French people. Eating food regenerates vitality for 20 minutes. It's just incredibly awesome. Keep in mind that they nerfed this kind of with the next gen update because the food is worse than before. It's now regenerating less. But having 15 vitality regeneration for 20 minutes is amazing anyways, especially if you play, of course, on the Death March difficulty. You need every health that you can get back, and you should totally take that. The only downside or the only thing hindering you is that this is only available with the Blood and Wine DLC, so you need this. But at this point, like, I think the Game of the Year edition with all the DLCs costs like 8 to 15 bucks. totally affordable. Mistake number 6, sick. Yeah, sick of doing side quests? You might be, but it might be a mistake as well of not doing them. Go to your contracts and see, do you have any secondary quests? Might want to do this, because at this point I'm level 100, and if I now do a level 70 quest, it is not going to grant me any proper amount of XP. So you might keep that in mind, that if you leave them behind, they are not that rewarding anymore. I mean, at level 100 I didn't get any experience, but you should keep that in mind. If you want rewards, you should totally do the things that are around your level area, and once you out-leveled them, they are not that rewarding anymore. Pro tip, go to escape, options, gameplay, enemy upscaling on. Super handy. I mean, it's not a pro tip, it's in the options, right? This is not Roach. Might be my last resort anyways. At one point you really get sucked into that game. The whole atmosphere is just amazing, and you get struck by every new, I don't know, lightning or new quest, new thing you see, and you wander around with almost no plan. But one thing you should totally keep in mind are like the Witcher contracts, as well as the Witcher sets that you want. You totally want to get these as soon as possible. As soon as like the cat set, the bear and the griffin set, they pop up, you should totally do them. That is one of the highest priority things I would recommend you guys to get in The Witcher 3. These sets can be upgraded at many points in the game, and if you manage to upgrade these sets to the maximum level, you will get a set bonus per set. For example, the Griffin armor gets like extra Earden Trap size and immense stamina regeneration, or the feline armor, I was calling it cat set because in Germany it's actually like cat, basic cat. You get more attack bonus, etc. So keep that in mind. You might want to get them as soon as possible. And yeah, how amazing is it that at the end of the world there's still Roach waiting for us. But where's Papa? Did you know that you can farm infinite drowners right here, western from the Hangman's Alley at this point? You go there from Krau's Perch, and you better be prepared with maybe a whale potion or so. Maybe even cat eye if it's night. At daytime it looks, let's say, mediocre if you go there with a cat eyes potion. But you can use your crossbow to farm drowners at all times of day, and I would recommend, if you have it of course, to get this crossbow damage increasement. What you do here is farm these drowners. You simply jump into the water and kill them with your crossbow. You normally two-shot them, and yeah, then you can loot them, and also speed level. They grant a lot of experience, and it might be even faster than most of the activities you can do in the early game. So this is a super early leveling method if you like that. Only problem is sometimes your like reloading speed might be a little bit less than you need, and they can hit you, so be prepared for that. But in general, it's a nice farm spot, nice method that is not too much fun. I have to commit or admit that. Don't commit to it. I did it for 1 hour, and after that I was fed up. Here in Sund on Skellige Islands, if you're there, did you know that you can exploit a sheep farm? If not, you might want to check it out. You spawn at Sund and you follow this path around here. You go right after right, and then you arrive at this little barn, and the sheep in there, they can be killed with a devil's puffball bomb, and they will then of course die. But the interesting thing is, you can like kind of step in, try to meditate. You can't do that, but they respawn. The devil's puffball still there, still poisonous, and you can repeat it. Also, VAM! Again, they all die in an instant, swoosh whoosh, and it's just amazing farm glitch, and it's still available at this point in that game. It has not been patched out. I think at this point CDPR thinks, hey, players have been using it, why not leave it if they want to abuse this? And it's totally a nice farm for, of course, raw meat and yeah, some old sheep skin. That crazy, and it really floods your inventory with stuff, but it might be handy. Next mistake you should totally not make. Of course, mixing skill tree colors. Now, you can do this if you want to, but my recommendation is to start off with combat, not waste any points in science. There's one sign that it can understand if you want to use it, and this is the delusion skill. This opens up new story or decisions in conversations. If you don't have it, and you of course need to have it on your skill bar, this is not available. keep that in mind. But in general, I would recommend getting combat, getting some alchemy, and maybe the best points in general, like 1 to 3. At the start of the game, they are really powerful, but then others come increasingly important. Mistake numero 10, neglecting dismantling gear. You might have a lot of stuff in your inventory and be fed up about it. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, you should totally get to the blacksmith of choice and use a dismantling service of your choice. I don't know, maybe let's go to Toussaint. By the way, I have a snow mod on this, so it's not like normally looking. Let's go to the tawny grounds in this case. Isn't that amazing, Toussaint with snow? I'm not too sure, but it's funny at least. Like talking to these blacksmiths, you can of course use the dismantling feature they have to dismantle stuff you have in your inventory. Maybe you have a lot of, I don't know, whatever stuff, and you can totally dismantle it. This will then get rid of some weight in many cases. Like in this case, you have like the 0.54 weight on it, and what comes out is most of the time of no weight. Like the timber is of no weight, strings are of no weight, and sometimes you can even like turn this into more sub things. In this case, this might also be like maybe a use case if I want to get rid of weight. I mean, it's 500 bucks, but I don't need money anymore. So this is like a totally viable strategy to get rid of stuff. This is only junk. Oh, crazy. But I can't get rid of that insignia. Only that X. Keep that in mind, do it regularly. Now, farewell, no Gwent to Dell. Keep in mind to always meditate. It's super handy. Having the meditation ready will fill up your potions and flasks. It will fill up your bombs. It will also save that game and make enemies respawn. Also, of course, you can choose the time of day, so it's one of the most amazing things I would say to use in that game to control your playthrough, to get more control over what you want to do. This pile of shields, it's just beautiful. There's so many details in this game that I still don't remember after like almost 500 hours of The Witcher. I don't know if you regularly like stumble across stuff or stuff that you forgot about story-wise maybe, because for myself, I always concentrate on gameplay features and mechanics, where the items are, what the best ones are, etc. And sometimes I forget a bit about the story, which is then amazing if I re-enter that game and know about it later. Seems like a goldfish effect. Number 13, efficiency in inventory management. I mean, this aligns with scrapping your gear, of course, but as well, you should totally remember to use the stashes. There are many stashes at many places, e.g. the Corvo Bianco Vineyard for the endgame people, but in White Orchard, there's of course a stash at the Wosong Bridge, and in Velen as well. Normally they are in the places where you are. I mean, in Crossbow, there's now one. They also added this awesome fast travel point, super handy. And totally use these stashes. Why is that? Trash everything you have in it that you can't get rid of. The vendor does not have enough money. Use it. You want this item in a later stage? You want this item in New Game Plus? Totally use it, because it will then transfer to New Game Plus. Same for the monster trophies. Don't sell them, some are pretty unique, but keep them in your chest. I mean, in general, you can say the doubles you have, you can sell. But of course, Geralt loves trophies. You should keep them for him at least. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as well is skipping Quen pre-fight. Always shield yourself with Quen pre-fight. It can also have a double advantage. Not only that you have a shield, then your stamina regenerates and you can use the next sign. Also possible, if you have this skill that I have, using signs generates adrenaline points, and you can then of course use these signs to generate adrenaline, and then it goes up and up and up and up and up and until it's full. Oh yeah, that infinite stamina right here is a bug that I have. Next up, sign intensity gear. It's not super good at the start, but you should not overlook it. I already showed you some gear that I own that is amazing for sign casting. And in the end, you can look like this if you look at the sign gear and, I don't know, spam some ice art around you almost infinitely because of all the regeneration and all the damage and crowd control you do. This can be amazing, but it will of course not look like this if you're level 20, more likely after the Blood and Wine DLC. and then starting into New Game Plus, that's a possible spot to get this. But I would totally recommend you guys to check that out, and yeah, keep the sign gear. Also make sure to loot or chase for that Griffin armor, because at later stages of the game it will be better. Now also tip number 18, don't leave any loot behind. Yeah, you might be overweight in some cases. Maybe you want to get like that infinite back modification. Back then it was called over 9000. At this point, like the new mod makes every weight in the inventory to 0. I got it on Nexus mods, and totally watch my mod video. I generally have a lot of videos about super specific cases, e.g. mutagen farming, farm spots in general, glitches, as well as speed leveling and getting rich, perfect builds for you. So I have a lot of very specific content that you might be interested in. Check that out if you have specific questions. Also like a mod video, of course. Yeah, I hope these 17 tips helped you guys out, and you are now a better Witcher than before. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking to the channel, and also make sure to check out this playlist that I created with the Witcher 3 guides that might help you, or this video on the other side that is recommended to you by YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow and subscribe if you liked what I do, and I will speak to you in the next video. Bye guys, and thanks.